motherfucker.
You are live with Three Dudes and Wrestling Podcast.
Hey,
What up, y'all?
NWO. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 12.
So we got a whole dozen
Three
under our
dudes.
belt?
Yep.
Shit.
Three Dudes and Wrestling Podcast. 12 episodes. That's dope.
So how many do you think we should put in a season? You know, like 20 episodes in a season, take a week
Yeah.
off, start the second
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
I like it.
think so.
I like
yeah.
it.
it's a pro wrestling podcast. Much like pro wrestling, we don't take time off.
But we can record.
I
We
don't know,
can
but if we
record an
pre-recorded,
episode
we
or
would-
two.
If we were pre-recorded, we wouldn't be able to say things like, and your new AEW.
We'll just have to guess, and if we're right, we're right. If we're
We
wrong,
would just
we're
do
wrong.
the Simpsons Atlanta Falcons bit.
We would have both been wrong.
But this is true.
But yeah, I guess. Go Mox. Go Mox. A
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
belts changing hands tonight.
Oh yeah, it
That
was.
was a hell of a fucking free event.
This
right
was
there.
probably one of the best dynamites in a long time.
I don't know. Whenever they've been doing a real good job, like this Grand Slam one that they do every year, and they've got a couple other ones that they put the freaking special names on.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Blood and
They
Guts.
Put some like pay-per-view
Yeah.
level shit on Wednesday night cable TV, and props. That's all I got.
Yeah, tonight was definitely good. A lot of good matches. Jericho won his match. That's Yep. The Acclaimed won their match. It actually brought a tear.
Yeah.
It actually brought a tear to my eye. Just because they deserved it, man. Like they've been through a lot. They've definitely proven their worth. They for sure deserved this title win. And I think actually the most surprising thing about that whole match
Oh, I got one for that. But what do you got?
was when they normally, when Keith Lee gets in, bask in his glory. They was doing Daddy. I was like, yes. Keith Lee was like, y'all gonna use my stuff for him? You can tell he was just he was like, all right now.
I mean, they even came out in the Knicks or Mets colors too. I mean, they was trying, but I didn't realize that Graybeard was going to be in that match. Keith Lee is slacking on the dye job for real.
Yeah.
He looked 15 years older in that match because he didn't have his shit cleaned up. Just for men, Keith. Just for men. Look that shit up.
Yeah, because I was like, Keith Lee looking a little rough tonight.
They stopped zooming in after those first two shots. I was like, God damn.
There's gonna be a rubber match where he overdoes it with all the hair coloring, where you can just see it bleeding down his face like Rudy Giuliani's hair.
He's gonna be sweating hair dye and shit.
Yep.
I like it.
But yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, because I had made a post on Twitter talking about the 3 moments in wrestling, in the last 2 years that brought a tear to my eye. The first one was Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks in the main event at WrestleMania, just because for me representation, it was real big. Second one was Tamino finally winning a championship, because it's been long overdue. She's been one of the locker room leaders for the women division for the better part of a decade now, and she's put in the work in front of in the ring and outside of the ring. So I definitely think that she deserved that win, and then tonight with the Acclaim.
The Acclaim,
Definitely
baby.
excited for all of these, man.
I mean, when you speak to representation, I mean that match as a whole is fantastic. I would say a low light in that size part of the light would be the fact that Billy Gunn gets the finisher. Like, what the fuck, man? Let the Acclaim win.
Yeah,
clean title wins are a big deal. Like, as much as I'm pumped about Jericho tonight, I'm like, man, he's gonna get that grime on the Ring of Honor. Like, that's that low blow is supposed to be what that's not about. You know, you gotta have a little bit of continuation. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Continuity.
Yeah, that's too easy.
Anyway,
obviously, it's obviously not the word I was looking for. Come
on. But what was the match after that one? Wasn't it? I know Pac and Orange Cassidy was good, but I didn't like the way it ended. Same thing, come on, Pac. Like, why? You could have won that clean. No. Good match.
He doesn't like Cassidy, he had to get grimy about it.
Hey, if you don't like orange juice, that's your problem.
But cheers to the Acclaim.
This is that is the moment of the night. No, that is 3 dudes in wrestling's moment of the week.
Dun, 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 dun. Big graphics.
Yeah, we should. That's sticking. Moment of the week. That I like that. I like that.
I'm putting it in the notes.
Yeah, moment of the week.
So what else? I suppose we should talk about the other company a little bit too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the boss of bosses.
Triple H, man, he is doing wonders right now. The ingenuity that he has right now is next level for me because he is literally letting us do all the work for him. That's what he's been doing since he started. He's been, putting these subliminal messages and imagery and all of that and moments in the background, knowing how social media is nowadays, where people are going to overanalyze and pick at every little detail that doesn't belong in the scene that's on the screen. Because what they're doing with this White Rabbit stuff, where they haven't shown any of it.
I think it's a White Rabbit, but whatever.
Whatever it is.
Dynamite.
Whatever it is. They have not shown that on live TV yet. But yet we are all speculating about it. And the only thing that even alluded to it was the fact that at 9:23 on Monday Night Raw, there was a guy walking through the crowd with a QR code. And if you scan that code, it took you to a thing, like a picture that had a date, which was this Friday. Like that's next level stuff right there, because they're not doing vignettes like they normally do. We're not stuck in the Veer is coming for like 8 weeks. Like, it's just,
hey, don't hate on that Jericho countdown though. But anyways,
no, that one gets a pass.
Okay.
That one doesn't make the list.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's like Triple H is on some next level stuff right here, as far as reintroducing people.
I mean, yeah, the way that he was going about all that Dexter stuff was fantastic. I mean, obviously that was on screen, but like, I remember we were talking a few weeks ago. I was like, I keep seeing these random things, like there's somebody putting a fire out behind an interview. I'm like, just that little type of drop-in shit. That's fantastic to me.
Yeah, and because of course it was nice because we had a debut on AEW tonight with Saraya and Paige, and that was like nice. Like that was a nice surprise. There we go. That was a nice surprise because I'm glad that she's doing stuff on screen again.
What if she gets another drop kick into the back?
I'm hoping her role. I know she's probably gonna wrestle, but I think she does bring something to the women's division over there that they've, sorely been lacking. I'm not taking away from anybody, in the women's division, but like there's not one person that you can easily say, this is that icon of that division. Like, and I think Paige can definitely bring that. We have people that are, the it thing right now, because Jade Cargill is holding it down. She is still one of my favorite, but she does not yet. She will one day, but she does not yet have that, when I hear the name, it's just like, okay, it's people.
I see it. I see her in like, at least in AEW, kind of similar to maybe the way they've been using Christian. Get that fire, get the promos, get a couple of good pushes, for some people type stuff. And I mean, shit, Christian's wrestled half a dozen matches, it feels like, since he's been in AEW, but he's been on TV every other week. And I can see something like that for her real well.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah. And so I think she also does bring that knowledge of what can make, a good women's division, because, she was instrumental and, kind of helping to kick off all the changes that happened in WWE.
Is she a 2-time Diva title championship holder? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went and did a little research quick before the show.
So it's
we do research on this show.
I do think that she will be good for AEW, and this is one of those few people that I'm like, okay, I know she's, formerly of WWE, but I think she needs to be in AEW. Sorry, Madison Rain. I know you probably still gonna be helping out, but after you first got there, it was like I forgot until tonight that you were even brought over. I'm sorry.
Straight to dark with you.
Straight to dark with you. Go and fight Abaddon for a few months.
AEW Shadow Realm.
Right.
I like that. That's a good one.
But yeah, I think she's gonna be good. Also, this Survivor Series War Game is it can be very interesting. We already know Bloodline is going to be, one side of, the match. It's just a matter of who's going to be on the other side.
A team led by future world champion Logan Paul.
I thought
I mean, I was reading the thing there.
You got to give them what they want, the people what they want, especially if they're paying $1 billion or whatever it is.
So, I gather that you couldn't possibly get more new eyes on wrestling than by having a dude that's got 23.6 million followers and all these different things. But I like it when they bring famous people in and fuck around with them. But I feel like and the kid's got in-ring skills too, but we're legitimizing this kid really fast. He's suddenly fighting fucking Roman Reigns and shit. That was a fucking leap. That's all. I mean, everybody else had to take the fucking road except this kid because, a bunch of, I'm sorry, not a bunch, 2.3 million motherfuckers follow him. I don't know.
I do think, though, that this, that, the crown jewel, it's important, but I also think it's a glorified house show.
It's a throwaway show.
Yes. And
hands at that shit.
Yeah. And so this is purely a PR stunt. That's all this is. This is just let's get more eyes, because when Bad Bunny came in, that I'm pretty sure that brought in a lot of his fans that weren't watching wrestling, wanting to see what he does, in a wrestling ring. Same with, I'm pretty sure there's a generation of people who are Jackass fans that don't watch wrestling. And so, when Johnny Knoxville came back, like a lot of them were like, okay, let's see what he's going to do because we know he's going to do something goofy.
And
So I'm pretty
result.
That Sami Zayn match was pretty fantastically hilarious, actually.
Yes, and I know that drew in a lot of people. And then now with Logan Paul, they've done two things with Logan Paul. One, they're going to bring that 2.6 whatever million people in, and two, they made me
26
actually
million. 23.
However many 26 point whatever million. But my perception of Logan Paul, yes, and counting, has changed because I wholeheartedly did not like this man prior to him showing up in wrestling, and that is primarily because he respects the sport. He respects professional wrestling. He isn't just, in there Snooki at WrestleMania.
Don't hate on bro. Don't go hate on my girl Snooki. Meatball time to roll out or whatever the fuck.
Look. All she did was a backflip with an elbow in the corner. That was it.
And you get to see Johnny Nitro or whatever his name was at the time, just looking verbally disgusted, like, why am I here?
I think it was Johnny WrestleMania for that show.
So
Nitro.
I think that this will be good overall because it will bring a lot of eyes, a lot of new eyes to the company. Because even remember, what was it? SummerSlam, Kat Dennings. I think that yeah, it is Kat Dennings.
It is.
Like watched SummerSlam for the first time, and she was like, "Oh my god, I love wrestling!" Like she likes it. So this is going to be one of those things where people who like Logan Paul are going to watch wrestling, and then maybe they're going to, slowly become wrestling fans.
Is Paul going to get creeped on by a bunch of AEW fans like Kat did the second she posted that?
Wrestling, it's amazing to me why everybody can't just like wrestling. Like I will say right now, I am more AEW. I enjoy the product AEW puts out more than I enjoy what WWE is putting out right now. Mm-hmm. But I feel zero reason to fucking piss on anybody who prefers the other.
Exactly.
Like I can't. Let's get along.
Right. Just enjoy it.
We're wrestling fans. Be glad that there's eyeballs on wrestling because if there's more eyeballs on it, then it doesn't go anywhere. Type shit.
And
we need to unite wrestling fans. We gotta wait for Logan Paul to become champion. Jake Paul's going to interfere, knock out Roman Reigns with a punch, and then boom, 1, 2, 3, the match.
I don't know because he's over there preparing for his own match. That would be interesting, though.
Isn't he fighting Anderson Silva?
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot.
So they're both losing.
Oh man, I wish they'd do it in a kickboxing arena so I could watch Silva kick his fucking head off. But otherwise, I mean, it's gonna make money.
Yeah, hands down. So I am definitely excited to see where this goes. I know one thing I do want to do because I know we talked about watching an old pay-per-view, but I definitely do think we need to watch a old Survivor Series match and an old War Games match.
Just a match? We're never going to do a whole show? We got.
We can. But I was just so we can, because I've never watched, any of the OG War Games. I've watched some of the first few Survivor Series. But I definitely do want to check some of that stuff out because the only ones I've ever seen have been, of course, the NXT ones and Blood and Guts, which I'm still shocked that I actually got to see a War Game style match, live, because it's a whole nother feeling watching it live. You don't get all the fancy cuts and edits, but it's just that plus the atmosphere, and it was crazy. So I definitely want to watch some more of that stuff.
Do you think that you're missing something because of that terrible production value? A punch, cutaway, a punch, cutaway, punch, cutaway. Oh.
I'm saying because there I can see everything that's happening, but live there's stuff in my way, so I can only see what's not blocked off.
You get to see all the control chaos right in front of you instead of just
Yeah.
like focus on this, no that, now this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually taking the entire thing for sure. I agree. I just want to take a shit on their production. That's all. Don't mind me.
Oh no, yeah.
Camera cuts are the freaking worst.
WWE has gotten a little better with those.
I agree. I mean,
they get somewhere.
When I checked in like probably 5 months ago, before I kind of got back in here in the last couple months, I think I made it through one match. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's like we're watching
Motion sickness watching a match.
like a Michael Bay fight scene or something. Where it's
Something, I don't know what it is. Yeah, like, dude, when you keep it on one camera, you are not adding any value to this show with that shit.
You know what? The more them Morbius cuts, because watch the fight scenes in Morbius.
Oh yeah.
One of several problems with that movie, let's just say.
But yeah, so I'm definitely excited to see what matches they're going to do with War Games, Survivor Series War Games.
I was just looking at I saw an old promo for War Games. The team was Luger, Hogan, Sting, and Macho Man. Oh, who were they fighting against? Like a bunch of, I don't want to say nobodies, but like the night was capped off, I think, by Arn Anderson beating Ric Flair, I want to say, in a one-on-one horseman match. That was that's one of the more memorable War Games.
It wasn't a bad match, but it was.
I guess that's the one we'll watch. Because now I want to watch that one.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with a little brain buster action. Come on,
right? So yeah, most definitely. I also I saw something, not saw something, but I commented on something because yesterday or the day before, Tony Khan, once again got WWE living rent free inside his head. Said that that the Northeast is the crown jewel of wrestling right now. He doesn't he doesn't care about the Saudi Arabia BS. And the only thing I can really think of with his statement is, why do you constantly talk about WWE when your product behind the scenes is not good at all? And you need to focus on that before you comment on whatever WWE's doing. Don't worry about, they're not worried about you right now.
If your house is on fire, you don't need to worry about your neighbor's house is flooded.
Exactly. Yeah, like
you got people talking shit about your own company within like arm's reach of you.
Right. I'm literally next to you. And you just looked at him like,
I want to sit and do a podcast and just do like Tony Khan type reactions to CM Punk saying so.
Right, because you can talk all this mess about. I bet you if Triple H was standing in front of you, you wouldn't be saying none of that.
He shares a bank account with his own mother. That should tell you what kind of person he is. Meanwhile, Tony Khan's next to him, and we all know him and his dad don't share a bank account whatsoever.
I think Kevin Nash said something about that last week. He's like,
right.
Man, that takes a lot of something to be talking about bank accounts when your boss is next to you living off his dad's checkbook.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he over there, Tony.
Big sexy.
But with the comment on Twitter, somebody had mentioned that Chicago was in the Northeast. And I'm just like, that's the Midwest. And he just,
I'll tell you that it's most definitely the Midwest. I've never been told I live anywhere but the Midwest. And
right, because he's
90 minutes from Chicago.
And he tried to hit me with but as of 1984, but according to the Census Bureau, the Chicago is in the Northeast quadrant of the. I don't care about none of that.
Do you got?
I'm from Michigan. I
do. I got it right here. I think. Oh my goodness, I was dying when you sent me this picture.
Yeah,
like if you divide America into equal quadrants, it is most definitely in the Northeast. Like, I guess that's not catching up at all. At all. No, you're right. If you just draw a cross in the middle of the U.S., somehow Minnesota's in the Northeast.
Where is right? And I'm just like, dude. He tried to like rebuttal with, I'm not saying, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, according to the compass and to maps and stuff, it's in the northeast quadrant. And I'm just like, dude, we don't care.
Not since the 1984. The region is currently called the North Central Region by the U.S. Census Bureau, is what he said.
Right. And I'm just
Sure.
like,
I've
dude,
totally I live in the North Central region of America.
Yeah, like, dude, we don't care. Like, I'm just like, dude, just like give it up. It's in the Midwest. Just leave it alone. Like, I don't care that you think it's, the Northeast. And it was just funny. Also reminds me of the time when I got into an argument with an independent rep on Twitter because I was at work one day. It was there's an independent wrestler. His name is I think Baron Black. He was on AEW Dark once.
Okay.
But he was he's a Nintendo diehard. Nothing wrong with that. But he was just saying how Nintendo games are better than PlayStation, and so I just kept going back and forth with like how you're, the worst part about the gaming industry where you try to put, this and that above everything else. I still got respect, for what he's doing. I was just bored that day. It just made me think about that. It was funny because it went on for like hours. I have a long thread in my mentions on my Twitter. It's funny. Maybe I'll like stockpile them and then like talk about them, like show him on the show. Then maybe he'll see it and then we can get him on the show and then we can hash things out.
Yeah, it's always better to do with this.
Rocket League.
I can't type in sarcasm. Like,
yeah,
that's half my fucking game. So, I mean, I'm always gonna be better doing this way. Yeah, get it out there, man.
Exactly.
So you're talking about Triple H being the ultimate boss. I mean, I'd have to say to some extent, I mean, the Click is running shit. It's got to be just a matter of time before Levesque brings in his boy Nash to be head booker. I mean, you saw how good he did at that last time he tried, he said sarcastically. But, I mean, I would love, there it is.
What?
Yeah.
Who put this up here?
Huh?
See? How did you do this?
See, I told you. What did I tell you?
All right.
Yeah, Northeast.
I just saw it pop up. Okay. You got to show me how to do this because now this is going to make everything so much better.
What was I telling you, Anton?
You're right. Yes, you are right. Oh my God. But yeah, so like, I don't care that I'm moving my mouse on my screen. You guys couldn't see it, but like, I didn't care. Just
It's such an odd argument to have in a wrestling like forum,
right?
Like, oh, actually, it's kind of Great Britain if you think about it,
right? I'm like, dude, nobody cares.
But yeah, I mean, you got Michonne down there, like he's head of operations at Next now, basically.
Yeah, essentially.
Hunter's running.
He showed up on screen in a GM like role, and I'm just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I need GM Shawn Michaels again.
So I mean, what we're just waiting on. I mean, the two remaining members are Waltman and Nash. I don't know what actual value Waltman could bring per se from production value, but maybe he's a good backstage guy. I don't know. I've never heard that about the guy. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's just a matter of time before the Click becomes like a thing again, and he brings them all in to kind of help run shit. Some of that shit that I mean, I went back. I just watched the D-Generation X biography or whatever it is that they were running, and I'd forgotten how poignant some of the shit that they said in their initial promos, like when they're telling Vince off before Vince was completely on board, like, this is the future. We are the future of wrestling. Like, yep, you are. Sure are.
Never did I think when I was watching Triple H and Shawn Michaels, never would, even watching some of their old stuff, I'm never like, they're going to be running WWE. Like, I didn't think that. But then, once he married Steph, then it was like, okay, he's probably gonna be running WWE one day.
Well, he married into a push, like everybody likes to say.
Yeah, and
But
but
he's
like,
got the brain for it, obviously.
yes,
Like,
yes,
And I don't think that he married Steph to get the push. I mean, she's far from
yeah.
it.
Oh no,
She's
yeah,
far
no,
from
no,
an ugly
no.
girl, so
Yeah,
I mean, when you get to pop your wife's breast out on national TV trying to give her a pedigree, I mean, I think you owe her
Yeah.
something at that point.
right. But like,
He stole her from Tess.
Oh, poor Tess.
R-
He's
R.I.P.,
actually, isn't
man.
Tess like gone now, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, R.I.P. Tess.
Mhm.
R.I.P. I was sad about that one because it just came out of nowhere.
ECW.
Crash
legend.
Holly too. Oh, I'm sad
Yeah, that
about
list just gets longer and longer and longer.
it does. But it's just crazy to think that we are literally watching WWE be run by D Generation X right now.
I'm gonna start keeping a counter of how many times you say literally, just so you know. You're already at 3 for the show.
Literally.
But yeah, DX,
Literally.
man, I knew what I was rooting for back in the day.
Right. Like,
The future of professional wrestling.
You know what they were doing in derailing Bret Hart and Vader's pushes?
Vader,
right. They
should have been over a long time before that shit ended. But yeah,
and one thing I guess I'm glad happened because I feel like this is what kind of motivated Triple H to create NXT and have the mindset that he's in now. Because throughout his career he's been known as the guy that wouldn't put anybody over. He was always for himself, but eventually I don't know whether he learned something or he was just like, okay, I'm at an age I want to start helping the younger guys.
I don't know that getting somebody over has to mean losing to them. Getting in the ring with Triple H at any time in his career, is a
it's just like Jericho. Yeah, you're going to get that push, but I just mean like,
you don't need to. I know what you're saying, but I mean, I think he was still doing this back then, but just no, you can't have the strap, but yeah, let's get in the ring. Let's show everybody what you got. And that's a draw. That's how you get Wheeler Yuta in a championship match. Like, let's get these kids pushed a little.
Yeah. And I honestly think because if we look at the current makeup of WWE, the majority of the top people were brought in by Triple H through NXT.
I mean, I guess we're giving NXT credit for people that they didn't produce, though.
No, I'm speaking about people that he brought in from the Indies.
Oh, like new people. Because I'm like, Kevin Owens and AJ and all those motherfuckers, those were all like Ring of Honor people before they ever got to NXT.
Right. But no, I'm just saying they were people that he brought in. Because, Roman, he was a given. Triple H didn't bring him in. He was legacied in, essentially. He had the talent, but he was still legacied in.
He was way back CW era and all that, too, so...
Yeah, fuck with Terry Rising. What a
and
great
then you had Seth Rollins, big in the Indies. Triple H brought him in. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Where else you get once again? Kevin Owens is. I mean, he was.
Oh yeah, he was still a name. I'm just speaking on people that he
right. Him take off a mask and start talking.
I'm just saying, if you look at the people that Vince McMahon fostered in the same period as the people that Triple H brought in, Triple H's people are still predominantly in the picture, but Vince's people are, unless it's like AJ Styles or one of those names that was already big that didn't have to do NXT.
Theory's still getting the push. I mean, push back a little bit, but he's still getting the push.
Talking legacy guys like Orton and Cena and all that, guys who were even way before NXT when they basically used to have Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Cena's not generational, but Orton, dude, that kid was ready to be a wrestler before he ever set foot in a ring. You watch some of his shit from OVW, And like, yeah, he was ready. It looked like in his first match,
Yeah.
he had the look. He knew how to sell.
He had the
Like,
front tipped hair. He knew what he was.
I will say this though. I have been thoroughly impressed by a lot of the new talent that came in with NXT 2.0 because some of these people are phenomenal. I know a lot of people they don't really watch NXT, but people like Carmelo Hayes, Nikita Lyons, Wendy Chu, Cora Jade, Braun Breaker, like a lot of these people that came in
Steiner.
as yeah, like especially with gimmicks that I didn't think were going to get over, but they are. Like there is a wrestler down there called Andre Chase, and his whole gimmick is that he runs a university called Chase U, and like that's his little faction or whatever that he has. And he was in a tag match tonight, and he was so over. And I'm just like, when I first saw that gimmick, I was like, there's no way a college professor like this would work again right now. That man made it work, and I love every bit of it right now. So I really do have to give my props to a lot of these new people that came into NXT 2.0 kind of in that little shakeup. I can still do without Grayson Waller. He's still talented though. But a lot of these people, Tony D, people I never even heard of, but they were, training at the Performance Center. I honestly do believe that they're all doing a really good job. So I do recommend people.
I mean,
check them out, at least.
apart from like the big names, the Danielsons and the Punks and Bill, like AEW is made up of these motherfuckers. Nobody knew who Darby Allin was, Sammy Guevara.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like their entire women's division, sans the people that they brought in from WWE, like Serena and Storm and them. But like they've talk about turning not nobodies, but turning indie circuit guys into household names.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first year and a half was Jericho, Mox, and then all these dudes we hadn't even. I mean, I guess Brody too, probably, but like. There wasn't a bunch of big draws that they started that company.
Party to, yeah.
That was televised indie wrestling for the first 2 months.
Yeah,
sure.
Or used to come in the ring with a little panda thing around his head. Now he goes from having a panda to having tape around his neck.
Yeah, I mean that's what they all end up doing. But like, especially those first few weeks, you watch some of those like I don't say blooper reels, but some of those botch reels from the early AEW. That shit is hard to watch.
Yeah,
but that was on cable TV, y'all. Like shit.
Yeah. So
let's just say that not to discount what Triple H is doing, but you got to pull from somewhere. Otherwise, you're just going to turn into WCW 2.0. I mean, just buy all the old guys and bring them in type shit. You got to have that youth.
Because I this is something that I've been thinking about doing, doing like an indie wrestler of the week or something.
Hey, we just came up with our first idea. Come on, one a week.
2 a week. But no, like I want to start showcasing because especially with AEW, there's a lot of indie wrestlers that show up on AEW Dark and even sometimes on Dynamite or Rampage.
More Rampage, but yeah.
And nobody knows like who they are.
What's the girl's name again?
Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, she was just on last. She was just on Rampage last week, wasn't she?
Yep. But I just I think there's a lot of good indie talent out there that will more than likely because of AEW and how they do things are going to get that exposure. Because the only time they'll get exposure in WWE is if they just happen to be the hometown, jobber.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Boston from Boston. Yeah.
So I just I'll probably come up with a list and start making gathering information about them so I can like break down their stats and things like that.
No, just don't keep don't keep track of wins and losses because those don't seem to really matter anymore.
I'm not. Yeah,
not a thing.
They realized that was a dud.
Yeah, so I want to see if they have TikToks, social media that I can okay, this is them. Go there, check them out. So that's something that I was thinking about doing. I think it'll be good though. I really do.
So, what do you think the angle? I mean, I'm going to switch gears completely.
Yeah,
no. What's the angle? What's the storyline for Mox and MJF? Because every time they've been in the ring together, at least in the last year, MJF runs away like a little bitch.
We're also going to get MJF name dropping WWE a lot.
Yeah, I know he's going to be doing it until the bidding war of 2026. We all know.
And
I'm surprised he didn't say Sheamus' name. What'd you say, Jason?
We got another 4 years of this angle with MJF.
Yeah,
I don't care. But keep giving that kid the mic.
Oh yeah,
it's the Cody heel turn all over again. Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. He's in a different company, but it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Cody's not turning for years.
Yeah, Cody's definitely going to be, for the time being, a face.
I thoroughly enjoyed that fake turn that MJF gave us in Buffalo, though. What the fuck? With Josh Allen jersey
I knew he was bullshitting, but still, it's like it was nice. It was nice. I really enjoyed that.
Since then, MJF was the fire that was the match that struck the fire underneath Josh Allen and the Bills.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they needed?
Yes. We'll see if it all pays off come Super Bowl time because that's been their Achilles heel for a while.
I don't like to talk about the Buffalo Bills and Super Bowls. We have to move on from that subject. It's a sore subject for me. Well, an old school Bills fan from back in the day.
Put it this way: MJF has 4 more years left on his contract, right? That means the Bills could lose 4 more Super Bowls during that time.
Back to back to back to back.
This is true.
It's going to give him so much material to work with. You're killing me.
I'm just glad MJF is back.
I don't give a fuck if he doesn't wrestle for another month. Yes. I do not. I mean, the kid can wrestle. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but that's not the highlight.
Yeah, because promo wise, it's been lacking for a little while. It's been You've had like a few good ones, but there was nothing to write home to your mom about.
My mom's dead. You got to make those jokes, bro. What the fuck? She is dead, but it's been a while, so I'll try to make light of the situation a little bit. But if I write my mom, she ain't writing back.
I mean, you never know. Messages do appear.
No, I know. She's not. I got a little pile of her in my dresser upstairs.
This got dark.
Anyways, this is AEW dark right here, man. Anyway,
I hope what we're seeing on your screen occasionally is from the right. You're reaching into the right cabinet.
Right.
Oh. So,
but yeah, I'm just glad he's back. It's going to be fun times, and then all of his people with the firm and Stokely Hathaway, they're going to get some exposure.
I see the Smoking Guns Junior are gonna try to get after FTR. It looks like that should be an ass whooping. Boys, like I don't know. They seem like they got some skill, but I don't know. I don't. That was what they went in there and did with FTR there tonight. That was the best mic work I've seen or promo type work I've seen out of them yet.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that they want to get out from underneath their dad's shadow, and kind of be their own shtick. But there's something to be said for that. You get that Christian push like we were talking about before. You need that extra little bit, and I believe those two need that.
I'm gonna tell you why I think the Gun Club turned on that day.
Hold on, I didn't hear what you said at all.
I said I'm gonna tell you why I think the Gun Club turned on Billy Gunn. They wanted to pull the trigger before WWE did it with Ray and Don. I'm just saying we got 2 similar storylines. The children attack the father and join the faction. I'm just saying.
Personally,
you said what now? It cut out.
A better spot personally when you have Rhea Ripley on your side.
Yeah. But also, I've been meaning to bring this up these past couple of weeks.
Ooh, yeah.
Is it just me, or is Braun Strowman Wardlow right now?
I mean, he's probably Wardlow and a half, but
I
because
because
Wardlow flip any trucks yet over yet.
no. Is just ever since he came back,
He just
power
pulled up-
bombs in the middle of the ring. He didn't used to really do power bombs like that.
Yeah,
Like it's very similar to where he pulls them in the middle of the ring, gets this big build up for the power bomb. As long as he doesn't do like the symphony, I'll be fine. But I can't help but compare the two right now.
He needs to be away from the WWE for a while. That week, that was it. 3 days he spent with Choose Your Narrative did wonders for his career.
I guess. Also, Malachi Black or Alistair, whichever you want to call him. You think he's you think he's going to WWE?
he ain't going anywhere for a while. It seems.
Oh, I know that. I just mean like afterwards.
It would. I mean, it's. I would say there's a distinct possibility, but I think there's a distinct possibility he doesn't go back anywhere. The way that he,
This is
the
true.
interview that he did in his statements and stuff, he is
Mhm.
all about his marriage and his mental health, and those are two things that are extremely important. And I ain't gonna hate on him too hard. But
yeah. No, yeah. I just think that I feel like if he does go back to wrestling, it's going to be. I feel like it might be WWE.
probably. I mean, him and Triple H seem like they had a
Yeah,
good relationship. I mean, same thing. As soon as I guess Cole's probably under contract for at least another 4 to 5 years, but I imagine his ass is gonna go fucking scamper in the fuck back too.
I just found it funny. Tony Khan with Triple H took over. Yeah, Alistair Black and Adam Cole are under like 5-year contracts. Less than like
There goes
3
one.
months later.
Yeah.
Well, bye.
How dumb do you have to be to sign a 4 or 5 year contract?
Like,
I mean, at the time, it seemed legit. Like if Triple H is out and I got to keep dealing with Vince for the next however the fuck long with his, narrow view of what should be on TV, I'd have gone the fuck elsewhere too. Especially with all the creative control and shit that he seems to be giving out down there.
yeah,
Like
also,
any
Much-
wrestler.
Much
I
their debt-
really want to be a fly in Vince McMahon's house whenever he's watching.
Careful, you might get groped.
He better not touch me.
Yeah,
Keep them-
he breaks
keep
up a
them
fly
hands-
swatter differently. He's like, "Ooh, I got you."
Keep them hands to yourself. This ain't no Braun Strowman situation. I ain't trying to get these hands. Stay over there. I really want to know what he thinks about the current WWE product, because I do remember that Triple H said in an interview that, the advice he got from Vince was, I think it was like, be yourself or something, or like, do things differently. Don't do it the same way that Vince did it. Something along those lines. Don't quote me exactly. But
Quote you, boy?
yeah, don't. Because I don't know if what I'm saying is 100% accurate. I don't remember where I saw it, but yeah, because that's definitely what Triple H has to do. He has to do it his own way.
I believe he is.
Yeah,
Nothing
most
about
definitely.
this makes me feel like I said. I mean, their viewership is going up exponentially. Just like people are like, "Oh shit, Triple H! I remember that name." Like, let's see if this looks any different, because that old
Yeah.
Vince shit ran us all off. Like that became so for the kids. And you know what? If you put a good product together and you get adults watching, their kids are going to be in the room with them. It's cool. And if the parents aren't
And-
cool with that, then whatever.
And as we learn with AEW, kids don't care if it's PG or not. Yeah, you had the kid in the one show that was
What,
doing
baby?
the cousin. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, they don't care, Vince. Look, they don't care, and I'm pretty sure the networks don't really care like that. As long as it's bringing them money, don't go overboard.
Sure,
But-
but who's bringing in more money? The 18 to 35 demographic or the fucking 8 to 17 demographic? Who's spending more
Both.
money?
Well, the
I guess
the adults,
the 8 to 17 people are spending their parents' money, I suppose.
right?
But I mean, I
So-
like to think that I have more disposable income than my 5th grade son. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Yeah, with the
But
18,
but
30
what
grab-
parent is just buying stuff for their child and not them? You know they getting themselves a t-shirt too, especially when they be on sale. You be getting 35% off.
I go reverse. I'm like, you like that shirt? Yeah, me too. They only got it myself. Thanks.
No, your
Well,
kid's just
Jason?
Eddie.
he's got like he's wearing a moo.
Oof.
Yeah, I dress way better than my kids do, but you know, what are you gonna do?
I need to check out both of them. Oh, my box is coming this week. My pro wrestling tees box.
Oh man, I was thinking, like, man, you shouldn't talk about your girl like that. Damn. But I'm sorry.
Not gonna comment. I plead the fifth.
Still in.
But yeah, I don't remember what they said was going to be in the box, so I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to open it before the podcast, and then just
Until they give you some like whack ass Sami Zayn t-shirt, you're like, what the fuck?
look. If it's a Sami
in the
Zayn,
Bloodline t-shirt with
Look.
him like superimposed at the end of the picture, that I would be ecstatic for that shit.
I just love everything that Sami Zayn is doing right now.
People, we were talking about a few weeks ago how people are so like one side or the other, you know, like CM Punk and Ace Steel or Omega and the Bucks. In the same regard, oh fuck, I completely lost my train of thought. Wow. Somebody talk for a second while I think about it.
Yeah, no, because I love the dynamic that he has right now, and I love him trying to. I'm gonna just him trying to use African American vernacular English is hilarious to me, because when Jimmy or Jay was speaking one week and he was like, bet 100, I was like, yes. Yeah, he is the only like I loved every minute of it because it was all it was improv because Jay literally had to stop Sami Zayn because he was going to break in the middle of the ring. He literally had to stop him. It's great. I love it. I love this.
Did I see you in an argument on the internet? I swear it was on a thread, and they were like, well, I don't understand. Sami Zayn's not in the bloodline. He's not actually part of the family. This isn't true. I'm like, well, yeah, it's wrestling. And then you said something to the effect, I think The Rock is the only one that's actually a direct fucking.
I don't even know where I saw that.
I don't know either.
But I just remember, I remember the picture, and I was like, you do realize that The Rock is related by blood oath because he is not a member of the Anuahi family. His grandfather and their grandfather, when they were the Wild Samoans, I believe, or no, it was whichever ones, they made that blood oath. So they made the blood oath to become, brothers. And that's how he's related to the Anuahi family. And so I was just like, yeah, you do realize that, right? Because I don't think, because his whole argument was, well, he's not, related by blood, so he can't be in the bloodline.
Because that's what's required. Paul Heyman's is totally in by blood too.
So if that's going to be your logic, I'm going to flip it on you. I'm going to be like, well, if that's the case, this person isn't part of the bloodline either. I don't think they said anything after I said it. So
I didn't say. I went searching for replies. I didn't catch any.
I don't even remember if that was in one of the Facebook groups. So I just know I was at work. I saw it pop up, and then I was going through reading some of the comments because I thought it was a funny picture. Because it had all the other people and then said, but then that one person, he just said that, and I was like, you do realize?
Do you think? What if that match happens in Chicago, in the northeast part of the country? Would that change anything? Chicago, Northeast America,
right? And no, that I don't know how I feel about that match if it were to happen. To be honest. But how can it happen if he doesn't do the Royal Rumble or
What do you mean? Man, you can't take this long to think on air, bro.
how are they going to do Elimination Chamber and the Royal Rumble this year?
Abracadabra?
See, that's why I was stuck because I was like, wait a minute. If there is one champion, one of those got to go. Or it can't have that stipulation, or that's how you break it up.
I say a triple threat match is how you break it up. I still
Yeah.
say you put McIntyre, Owens, and Reigns in a ring, and Owens pins McIntyre, and that's only worth one of the belts. Like somehow the stipulations before the match are you want to win both belts, you need to pin Roman. If you pin each other, you win your corresponding belt type thing.
Yeah.
And that's how they take one of the belts off of them before WrestleMania. Makes
Two
good sense to
falls,
me.
first fall, one for one belt, second fall for another belt.
Yeah. But yeah, because if the title is still unified by WrestleMania, one of those two pay-per-views, unless they, somebody from Raw will have to win Royal Rumble. Somebody from SmackDown will have to win the Elimination Chamber, unless they do the championship, which that's probably how they're going to do it. Do the championship in the Elimination Chamber. Because otherwise, it won't work.
I mean, where do you think we send our applications to be writers? I mean, shit.
I
got storylines up the Yahoo.
Right. Because these
postings
are the questions to ask. You said what now? I'm sorry.
Jason?
I'll just send them a copy and paste of a bunch of my e-feds from from one of the GeoCities websites I used to do like 20 years ago. My writing has kind of improved a little bit over the years.
Naomi is part of the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
That's good
I
stuff.
mean, she is. But yeah, I think in general, this past week in wrestling has been really good. Also, really quickly, because I know you have to check your local listings, because I don't know, what channel, what times, whatever. But Wild Women of Wrestling started their new season after being away for almost 3 or 4 years, I think. And AJ Lee or AJ Mendez, whichever you want to call her, is a commentator on it. So she is now back in the world of professional wrestling, and I'm actually kind of glad about that. So I definitely will be watching more of Wild Women of Wrestling.
Isn't that the company that was founded for Tessa Blanchard, and then she basically booted from it, didn't even do anything with her?
Yeah, because I mean, she did win the Ring of Honor, not Ring of Honor, Wild Women of Wrestling Championship. But also, if you want to watch a promotion that has a lot of cheesy gimmicks, they have some cheesy gimmicks up in Wild Women of Wrestling.
Said is AJ Lee is one of the commentators?
Yep, she's one of the commentators now. So
I'm looking at their website now. They refer to their wrestlers as superheroes.
They do. They refer to them as superheroes.
Well,
I think it's
what's
funny.
her name? ASH should be on that shit then. She's almost a superhero. Shit.
Right? Like that gimmick would work perfectly within Wild Women of Wrestling.
Oh, you get like
although I do find the name. I'm sorry, you said what now?
I was gonna say that's like some next stuff. Like the people coming up, like she's almost a superhero.
Right.
She's not there if she's on her way up. But AJ Lee, she's got like one of the most expensive wrestling pops. It's like a G, something like that. And if she's getting back into wrestling, I bet that son of a bitch is gonna pop like a bastard. I should probably go buy one now before it's $1,500. Random collectors, don't mind me.
Yeah, so I think. Oh, actually, it started. Either it started tonight or they were recording tonight. I'm trying to look to see, but just like a few of the gimmicks that I can remember, because that's where Nikita Lyons was. But when she was on there, she was known as Faith the Lioness. But there was who is this? Miami Sweet Heat We got somebody called the Disciplinarian, Siren the Voodoo Doll, somebody called the Beast. So a lot of these are cheesy, but they're all still, great wrestlers. So I still highly recommend checking out Women of Wrestling.
So is that www.www.com?
WWO or WOW.
Oh, I thought it was Wild Women of Wrestling. I mean,
Wow.
They always drop the does and the ofs.
Yeah, no, it's just Wild Women of Wrestling. I find that title a little redundant though, because you're saying the abbreviation or the acronym, and then you say Women of Wrestling. So you're basically saying Women of Wrestling, Women of Wrestling. But it works.
For the record, I thought this entire time you'd been saying Wild Women of Wrestling.
No, wow.
So that's why I was like, yeah, www.www.com. Perfect.
It actually their website is Wowie, WOWE.com.
All right, there you go. A little push for them. All 20 some of our viewers are definitely going to go peep that shit.
Right. All right, now this has been 3 Dudes in Wrestling, episode 12. We will see you guys next week. Peace.